Hi viewers, this is my reading diary, and today we'll be reading The Adventures of Captain Underpants by Pilkey, Part 4. Chapter 11, Fun with Hypnosis. When Harold bent down to close the filing cabinet, he took a quick look inside. "Whoa," he cried, "look at all the stuff in here." The filing cabinet was filled with everything Mr. Crop had taken away from the boys over the years. There were slingshots, whoopee cushions, skateboards, fake doggy doo-doo, you name it, it was in there. What do you think was in there? Send me an email and I'll continue. "Look at this," cried George, "a big stack of Captain Underpants comics." "He's got every issue," said Harold. For hours, the two boys sat on the floor laughing and reading their comics. Finally, George looked up at the clock. "Yikes," he said, "it's almost lunchtime. Better clean up this mess and get to class." The boys looked up at their principal, who'd been standing behind them in a trance all morning. "Gee, I almost forgot about Mr. Crop," said Harold. "What should we do with him?" "Do you want to have some fun?" asked George. "Why not?" said Harold. "I haven't had any fun in the last 4 to 6 weeks. "Cool," said George. He walked up to Mr. Crop and snapped his fingers. Snap. "You are a chicken," he said. Suddenly Mr. Crop leapt on to his desk and flapped his arms. "Cluck, cluck, cluck, cluck," he cried, kicking his papers off the desk behind him and pecking at his pen and pencil set. George and Harold howled with laughter. Let me try, said Harold. You're a monkey." "You gotta snap your fingers," said George. "Oh yeah," said Harold. "Snap. You're a monkey." Suddenly Mr. Crop sprang off his desk and began swinging from the fluorescent light fixtures. "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh," he shrieked, leaping from one side of the room to the other. George and Harold laughed so hard they almost cried. My turn, said George. "Let's see, what should we turn him into next?" "I know," Harold said, holding up a Captain Underpants comic. "Let's turn him into Captain Underpants." "Good idea," said George. Snap. "You are now the greatest superhero of all time, the amazing Captain Underpants." Mr. Crop tore down the red curtain from his office window and tied it around his neck. Then he took off his shoes, socks, shirt, trousers, and his awful toupee. "Tra-la-la," he sang. Mr. Crop stood before them looking quite triumphant, with his cape blowing in the breeze of the open window. George and Harold were dumbfounded. "You know," said George, "he kind of looks like Captain Underpants." "Yeah," Harold replied. After a short silence, the two boys looked at each other and burst into laughter. George and Harold had never laughed so hard in all their lives. Tears ran down their faces as they rolled around about the floor, shrieking in hysterics. After a while, George pulled himself up from the floor for another look. "Hey!" George cried. "Where'd he go?" Chapter 12, Out the Window. George and Harold dashed to the window and looked out. There, running across the car park, was a pudgy old guy in his underwear, with a red cape flowing behind him. "Tra-la-la!" "Mr. Crop, come back!" shouted Harold. "He won't answer to that," said George. "He thinks he's Captain Underpants now." "Oh no," said Harold. "He's probably running off to fight crime," said George. "Oh no," said Harold. "We've got to stop him," said George. "Oh no!" cried Harold. "No way! Look," said George. "He could get killed out there." Harold was unmoved. "Or worse," said George. "We could get into big trouble." "You're right," said Harold. "We've got to go after him." The two boys opened the bottom cabinet drawer and took out their slingshots and skateboards. "Do you think we should bring anything else?" asked Harold. "Yes," said George. "Let's bring the fake doggy doo-doo." "Good thinking," said Harold. "You just never know when fake doggy doo-doo is going to come in handy." Harold stuffed Mr. Crop's clothes, shoes, and toupee into his backpack. Then together the two boys leapt out the window, slid down the flagpole, and took off on their skateboards after the amazing Captain Underpants. Chapter 13, Bank Robbers. George and Harold rode their skateboards all over town looking for Captain Underpants. "Can't find him anywhere," said Harold. "You'd think a guy like him would be easy to spot," said George. Then the boys took a corner and there he was, Captain Underpants, standing in front of a bank looking quite heroic. "Mr. Crop!" cried Harold. "Shh!" said George. "Don't call him that. Call him Captain Underpants." "Oh yeah," said Harold. "And don't forget to snap your fingers," said George. "Right," said Harold. But before he got a chance, the bank doors blew wide open and out stepped two robbers. The robbers took one look at Captain Underpants and stopped dead in their tracks. "Surrender," said Captain Underpants, "or I will have to resort to wedgie power." "Oh no," whispered Harold and George. Nobody moved for about 10 seconds. Finally, the robbers looked at each other and burst out laughing. They dropped their loot and fell to the pavement, screaming in hysterics. Almost immediately, the cops arrived and arrested the crooks. "Let that be a lesson to you," cried Captain Underpants. "Never underestimate the power of underwear." The police chief, looking quite angry, marched off over to Captain Underpants. "And just who the heck are you supposed to be?" the police chief demanded. "Why, I'm Captain Underpants, the world's greatest superhero," said Captain Underpants. "I fight for truth, justice, and all that is pretty shrunken cottony." "Oh yeah?" shouted the police chief. "Coffin, boys!" One of the cops took out his handcuffs and grabbed Captain Underpants by the arm. Zoom! "Uh-oh," cried George. "We've got to roll." Together the two boys zoomed into the crowd, weaving in and out the cops and bystanders. Harold skated up to Captain Underpants and knocked the superhero off his feet. George caught him and the boys skated away with Captain Underpants on their shoulders. "Stop!" cried the cops. But it was too late. George, Harold and Captain Underpants were gone. To be continued. Like and subscribe this video for part 5. But in the meantime, peace out.